Welcome back. So, now we're going to do a little bit of surface or deep. I'm going to ask you a question because, and bear with me because I'm right with you. How many times have you taken out a Swiffer to do just a fast cleanup? You know, you get that phone call that somebody's coming, and all of a sudden you look around and you want, oh my gosh. So you hurry up and you take the Swiffer and you clean up really fast, to make it look pleasing to others. We have a habit of always worrying about what others may think, right? I get that. I do too. It's just something I want people to think a certain way about me, and that's it. And that's what I allow myself to present. While I have done that, I've also been thinking as my company is there, and they're giving me compliment after compliment about my surface cleaning. I'm thinking about that deep cleaning that I haven't done. The refrigerator, like in the stove, like when was the last time I pulled it out and cleaned behind it? I'm thinking it's been almost a year. And it's really bothering me because I know deep down I present one way, but behind something is another way. So think about that. When was the last time you did a deep clean? Now, I know we do a surface clean a lot. I am so with you. But sometimes we need to dig a little deeper, right? So I'm going to share a little story with you. And I know this probably isn't the best thing to do, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. Because I like to show the human side. Because no matter what, we all need work. But showing our human side and admitting the human side is huge. So why not just share it rather than try to hide it? That takes work. Because, I had, all right, I'll just tell you the story. My sister, she was very active in many ways in her church and different things like that. And I'm pretty sure they used to hold Bible studies and stuff. And one day after church, I guess a couple said, "Hey, how about we come up and I don't know. I think they were just going to come up and bring lunch or whatever it was." Well, my sister was like, "Okay." But then she rushed home, and all of a sudden she's looking around. She sees all the dishes in her kitchen sink, and then she opens her dishwasher and realizes that's full. She had no more room to put anything else. So she's like, "What do I do?" She puts things in a dishpan and hurries up and throws it in her oven. Now, I'm not going to say that that's a horrible thing to do because sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But think about it. How cluttered do you allow yourself? Or how many times do you want people to think of you a certain way when you're not really that way? Now, I share the story with you about my sister, not to pick on her, but I had to realize that I do the same thing myself. If nothing else, as I was watching her, she showed me something about me that I also present certain things in certain ways that I want people to think of me that it is way too much pressure because guess what? That's not even who I really am. And sometimes I struggle to even know who I really am. So it's the human side of us, right? But is it possible for us to learn how to truly be the people deep down that we want to be, that we show others on the surface? I believe there is. I believe there is many ways to start to bring into our life the deep cleaning and the surface cleaning, and eventually the surface goes away. And we become the deep cleaner, right? We become the person that we've always wanted to be, that we've been hiding. We have to go back to that deep cleaner to find out the person we were hiding before we can ever work on the surface cleaner, the one we want to become, the one we want people to believe that's who we are. We have to dig deep before we can become that person that we show everybody else. So this is what I'd like you to do. Choose one area that you've been suffering in, a habit or you've been pretending isn't a problem, which deep down you really know it's a problem. Choose that one area in your life and write it down and work on it. I'm only asking you to choose one. I know this is what I chose first. I chose to make sure, even though I started my morning as a surface cleaner, I also took care of that behind the stove and behind the refrigerator. And I decided that I was going to do that once a month. So that's what I wrote down. Do the cleaning, do the deep cleaning at least once a month, not once a year. So I know the next time somebody comes over and gives me all these compliments that I'm thinking, oh yeah, right. Do I deserve them? But I know then I do. So what is the one thing that you've been swiffering? And what's the one thing that you've been pretending isn't a problem? Those are your two things. Swiffering, and pretending that something isn't a problem when it is. Now, I showed the human side of me right now. I fumbled a few words. But that's what makes me me. So what makes you you? All right, I'll catch you in the next video.